Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Gokul. I'm currently pursuing second year MBBS in a medical college in India. So we are continuing our lecture series in general pharmacology. In this video, as a continuation, we will look at the routes of drug administration. So let's get started. So first we define routes of drug administration. Routes of drug administration, it refers to different techniques by which a drug, an exogenously administered chemical, is administered into the recipient's body. So appropriate route for drug administration at any time, at any given time, is determined by various factors like characteristics of the drug, emergency use or routine use, patient's condition, whether he is unconscious or there is recurrent vomiting, or there is loss of fluid like in diarrhea, and the patient's age, associated diseases, or sometimes patient's choice or doctor's choice. So why different routes are necessary for drug administration? Isn't it easy to deliver any drug through natural openings in the body? Yeah, wouldn't it be easy for a doctor and for both patients to deliver the drug through natural openings? But it doesn't work that way. Let's say there is an emergency situation, or maybe the patient is unconscious or uncooperative. So that's why there are different routes exist. There are various routes of drug administration like local routes, systemic routes, and systemic routes again divide into enteral route and parental route. Various subcategories are available for both enteral and parental routes like oral, sublingual, and rectal routes for enteral, and injection, inhalation, and transdermal routes for parental. First, let's look at the local routes. It is the simplest mode of drug administration. High concentration will be attained at desired sites without exposing the rest of the body, which means you can apply the drug just to the local area where you need the effect, where you want the drug to make its effect. Systemic side effects or toxicity are absent or minimal. Example, topical solutions like ointment, lotions, deeper tissues, and intra-arterial route. This intra-arterial route is given in rheumatic arthritis, where intra-joint injections will be given. Next, systemic routes. These routes, the drugs administered in this route are intended to be absorbed into the bloodstream. We want the drug to be distributed all over the body. That's why we choose systemic routes. Um, Systemic, it has two subcategories like enteral route. First, let's look at the enteral route. Uh, in enteral route, the first category and the most accepted category is oral route. It is most common and accepted route, like we know tablets, syrups, and capsule. So here I have listed out the advantages and disadvantages of systemic routes and oral route. What is the advantage of oral routes? It is safer, it is cheaper, it is painless. Self-administration is possible. We can use this route for prolonged use and repeated use. And the disadvantages, like it cannot be given in emergencies as absorption rate is very low, and high irritant drugs cannot be given this way, and unpalatable drugs cannot be given this way. Extensive for first pass metabolism, and we will discuss first pass metabolism in detail in another video. Unconscious, it cannot be given in unconscious patients, and uncooperative and unreliable patients it cannot be given. Mm. And sublingual route, this route comes in handy during angina. When a patient is experiencing acute angina, this is the most reliable technique. The preparation, the drug is kept under the tongue drug is absorbed by the buccal mucous membrane. The action is very rapid and efforts are produced in minutes. Like nitroglycerin is given in the acute angina and myocardial infarction too. So here are the disadvantages and advantages of sublingual route. What are the advantages? First pass metabolism can be bypassed. Uh, Onset of action is very quick. Action can be terminated by spitting out. Self-administration is possible. Disadvantages: not suitable for high irritant drugs and drugs with bad taste, not suitable for lipid insoluble drugs. Okay, let's use laser. Let's look at the rectal route. Certain irritant and unpleasant drugs can be put into rectum as suppositories and enema for systemic efforts. When this route can be used when the patient is unconscious or in recurrent vomiting. Drugs put into rectal route can be absorbed into external hemorrhoidal veins, bypasses liver, but not that absorbed into internal hemorrhoidal veins. Okay, the drugs which is absorbed by the external hemorrhoidal veins, which is those veins are below the rectal line. Those the drugs which are absorbed by these external hemorrhoidal veins can bypass the liver, but not the drug which is absorbed by the internal hemorrhoidal veins. The drug which is absorbed by internal hemorrhoidal veins cannot be bypassed, um, will cannot bypass the first pass metabolism. That is the meaning there. And rectal inflammation can result from irritant drugs. Okay, now the enteral route is over. Let's look at the parental route. Uh, what is parental route? Routes of administration other than enteral route are called parental routes. Okay, enteral route means the drug has to be gone through the gastrointestinal tract. The drug has to be put through the gastrointestinal route. Okay, um, counter to that, parental route. In parental route, the drug is not given through the gastrointestinal tract. That's the meaning here. Routes of administration other than enteral are called parental route. Okay, inhalation. First in this category is inhalation. Volatile liquids and gases are given by inhalation. For example, general anesthetics. Okay, during surgery and all that stuff, inhalation drug is given through inhalation process. When administration is discontinued, the drug diffuses back and is eliminated into the expired air. This is a disadvantage of inhalation route. Okay, I have listed out advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: onset of action is rapid, useful in uncooperative and unconscious patients, useful in irritant drugs. Okay, disadvantages are it requires aseptic condition. Um, Self-administration is difficult, requires invasive techniques. Okay, in nasogastric tube, we have to insert the tube inside the nostril of the patient. So it is an invasive technique and also expensive too. Okay, let's look at the injections. In injections, we have four category here, like intradermal route, subcutaneous route, intramuscular route, and intravenous route. So here I have put uh, put a picture which shows all four injections side by side. So in intradermal route, the angle of the injection is 10 degree to 15 degree, and in intravenous route it is 25 degree. Subcutaneous route it is 45 degree, and in intramuscular it is exactly 90 degree. It makes a right angle with the muscle. Okay, in intradermal route, small amounts are given into the layers of the skin, which is into the dermis layer of the skin. It is painful. In drug sensitivity test, it is given like in penicillin sensitivity test, and BCG vaccination is given in intradermal route and subcutaneous route. The drug is injected into the subcutaneous tissues of thigh, abdomen, and arm. Example: adrenaline and insulin. During insulin hormone administration, it is given in the abdomen area of subcutaneous area of the abdomen. So here are the advantages and disadvantages of subcutaneous route. Self-administration is possible in advantages. Depot preparations can be inserted into the subcutaneous tissue. Disadvantages: it is suitable only for non-irritant drugs. Drug absorption is slow and is not used in emergencies. Okay, it is not suitable in emergency condition. Next, intramuscular route. This is when you have fever or any infection, the drug is given through intramuscular route in injection. Here, the drug is injected into large skeletal muscles such as deltoid, gluteus maximus, and vastus lateralis. Paracetamol and diclofenac are given by this route. 5 to 10 ml are given at a time. Okay. Advantages: absorption is more rapid as compared to oral route. Mild irritants, depot injections are given this route. Disadvantages: aseptic conditions are needed. Okay, intramuscular injection are extremely painful. You may have experienced this. Those injections are very painful and cause abscess. Okay, IV route, intravenous route. IV is injected directly into the bloodstream through a vein, so it enters directly into the systemic circulation. So it bypasses the first pass metabolism there itself. So drugs are administered as bolus. So these terms you can see: bolus, single relatively large dose injected rapidly or slowly into a vein. Slow intravenous injection. During myocardial infarction attack, morphine is given through slow intravenous injection. And cardiogenic shock. During cardiogenic shock, dopamine is given through intravenous injection. So I have put together advantages and disadvantages here. Bioavailability. Again, we will make a separate video on bioavailability. Don't worry about that. Bioavailability is 100%. Large volume of fluid can be administered through IV route. Quickest onset of action because the drug enters directly into the systemic effort and blood takes the drug to its target tissues, which is not possible. Which is very slower in other routes of administration. Okay, routine route of choice during emergency. Highly irritant drugs can also be given through this route. And local infection may cause phlebitis. Okay, phlebitis means inflammation of the vein, because we are injuring a vein during intravenous injection. We are puncturing a vein and administering the drug through that vein. So inflammation of that vein is possible, and self-administration is not possible in IV route, and it is an invasive technique as it involves needle. We have to puncture the vein, so it is an invasive technique, and extraction of drug can cause necrosis. As we puncture the vein, the drug may also leak to the surrounding tissues. It will lead to necrosis. Last, we have come to the end of the slide. Don't worry. Transdermal therapeutic system. A drug is administered in the form of a patch or ointment that delivers the drug into the systemic circulation. Nitroglycerin patch for angina and nicotine patch for tobacco de-addiction are available. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you.